Hi guys, it's Clarice, and today we're going to be making these beautiful flowers for your wall, something you can put in your living room or your kitchen or even your bedroom. This is something that you can make in less than a day, and I really enjoyed this project. You can do it in many colors. Now, this is the canvas that I bought from my local supply store at Michael's, and the glitter that I'm using, I just mixed up a bunch of colors. I mixed up a bunch of blacks, and then I added some silver into it. Now, all I did before I put this glitter on here, I actually just painted the Mod Podge. So if you see the Mod Podge to the right, that's what I painted on there. Now, we did this in elementary school. You paint and you drop the glitter. So that's pretty much all that I did. So you're just going to need a paintbrush, some Mod Podge, and whatever color glitter. So let's say your living room is red, then you can do reds, and you may add silver to it. You may add gold. So I took this big construction bag and I just poured it. I just put the canvas in there and dumped it, and I painted the sides. So you'll see in the end it turned out beautiful, but it's all covered in black. I took this piece of paper, just a regular piece of paper, and I'm just freehanding this shape right here on the piece of paper, and it's so easy. And I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it out. So there's no pattern to this, although you may be able to find a pattern online. I don't have a pattern right now, so this is what it looks like. Now, this is felt fabric. You can buy out of Joann's fabric, or you can buy it offline. This is just regular, the cheap felt fabric, and I just wanted to, because I just wanted it to just look more natural. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the pattern piece on there and go ahead and cut this out. Now, because this is such a big wall art, you may do your wall art a little smaller so it won't take a lot of felt. And mine's, I didn't even use up all this felt. There's still more. I could have made 3 more of these if I wanted to. So this is the piece that I cut out, and this is what it's going to look like with your felt fabric. Now, the felt fabric probably costs about $2 a yard, and so this is one of my old cutters. I've had this for probably over 20 years, and it cuts thick plies of fabric. And because I didn't want to sit and cut with the scissors, I thought about it, and I was like, well, maybe if I just add a few pieces to it, because I lost a few pieces, then maybe I could just use this. This will make my life so much more easier. And guess what, guys? It really did. I've had this over years because I'm a fashion designer, so I used it to cut thick plies of fabric when I was trying to create my clothing line. So I found it, and then I needed a cord, so I went to Home Depot and I actually found the cord that I could use because I had lost it over the years. So here I am. I think this tool probably cost me back then maybe about $300. You probably can find it a little bit cheaper, but look, it's cutting the thick plies of fabric at a time. So now I don't have to cut these out individually because there was a lot of petals that I was going to be using, and I didn't want to cut it with scissors. But look how many plies it cut. Look, at one time it could just, it's electrical, and it's just gonna cut it all at one time. I've had these for years, but you can just take the I think it's the Jimsy cutting tool, and it cuts probably about, what is that, maybe about 8 plies at a time. So yeah, that's what I decided to do to go ahead and get this job done a little bit more quicker. But however, you may not do yours as big, or it may not even take you long. Just use somebody, you know, in the family, and you guys can do it. Now, I'm taking the original petal, I'm going to cut it a little bit smaller, and you're going to see later why. But I'm going to go ahead and cut these out as well, because remember, if you looked in the beginning of the video, there were 2 smaller flowers that I created also. So the smaller flowers, I didn't want the petals to be as big, so I cut these smaller petals out. Go ahead and cut it off, and I'm just cutting them exactly how I did the first one, cutting them out so we have them all done. Now, the next process, we're going to be using the fabric tack, and we're going to be creating like the trimming on the edge of the flower. So I'm mixing up all these glitters. These are more like silvers and whites, and this is going to go on the petal as a trim, right? And I just took a little bit of the black. You don't have to add the black. I don't even know why. I'm just making stuff up along the way, but these are silver glitters and white, and I'm gonna mix them all up together. And I think, you know why I used the black, because I think I needed it. Now, I added, it's a green in there. I don't know, it came from one of the iridescent silvery ones, and that I could have did without because I didn't want that green look to it, but it still turned out very beautiful. If you stay to the end, you're gonna see how amazing it actually turned out. So the black was okay. So this is the fabric tack that we're using. We're just gonna go ahead and trim halfway right there from the half point. We're gonna go all the way around. Just follow the actual curve of the leaf. Now you can use whatever glue you like. I just seen that the fabric tack stick pretty good, but you may use a different one. Let me know, if you did. But this turned out really amazing, and just like in school when we would drop the glitter on, this is exactly what it looks like. Once it dries a little bit, we're just gonna shake it. You don't even have to wait a long time for it to dry, but this is what it looks like. I cut a slit in the middle right there and just folded it over, and I'm gluing it with the glue gun. I like to use like 2 glue guns because just in case one runs out. But if you look, I already pre-did all my petals ahead of time. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and just glue them in this form, right? I'm doing 4. 1 north, east, southwest, right? And then I'm just gonna go in between. This is how easy this is. This is felt, this is glitter, felt fabric, this is glitter and glue. Like, that's it in a glue gun. So it doesn't take much to create such a beautiful, when I say it is so beautiful, imagine it just being over your bed, or imagine it being in your dining room with your dining room table, like looking so amazing. If you do it in the colors that you like, I don't know if you have teal living room, you have whatever colors, you can do this in whatever color that you would like. But when I say that the video is beautiful in the video, but it is even more beautiful in person, and just the way the petals are and the dimension, depending on what color you use, you can make an amazing flower. So I just wanted to find an inexpensive way to create a wall piece, because maybe something like this would cost a lot, but if you're doing it yourself, then it won't cost as much. And if you're using somebody else to do it, then it won't even take that long. So this is the center bud. I already pre-did it. Now these are the side canvases, the smaller ones. I bought this out of Michael's craft store, and now I'm just gonna start gluing it just like this. And these are the smaller petals because we don't need the bigger, or actually these are like the smaller petals that we're gluing on, and we're doing it like 5. So you see 5 is not 4, but what we're going to do is start gluing in between each one. It's just like bricklayer and like how bricks are, they're in between each one. So that's all you see. These are the smaller ones right here. So the smaller ones I'm adding to the center, and I added 5 of the larger ones on the outside because I had so many petals, and then the smaller ones are going here. And so because we don't want this flower to be as big as the one that we did on the large canvas. Now the large canvas, I think I paid probably about $39 out of Michael. Sometimes you can get them very cheap. You can get one, buy one, get one half price. You can get them at a very inexpensive rate. You may not even want yours as large as mine, but see, this is what I did for the center. If you notice, I kept it together. So if you cut your petal and you just keep it together, this is how I created my bud. And I'm just simply wrapping it and gluing it. And then go back to the video just so you can see, and you can see exactly how I did it. But this is how I did it. It just turned out so amazing. This was my first time doing this particular one, and this is the finished result. Look at the dimension. Look at how it sits up and out at you. It's so amazing. Even when people come to your house and they just see it, it's just something to see. You can just look at it, and this is something you can create for yourself, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below. Thank you, guys.